Yes to everyone. It's Ada from Poisoned Rock, and today I'm really pleased to have with me an extraordinary woman, Charlotte Wessels. How are you, first of all?
I'm doing fine. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, and we have a guest as well, like your puppy behind. That's amazing. We have an amazing guest of honor. I
I walked him and I gave him like a bone before the interview so he would be nice and tired. And look at that.
That's
It's he
amazing. I mean, this is what I love about sometimes interviews that you can put. I mean, animals should be part of interviews as well. Sometimes, let
sure.
I think he's an influence in your music somehow as well.
Almost definitely. Like anything that's happy, like ta-da.
I mean, of course, Charlotte. I mean, you are literally like I was saying before. To you create your own niche of people that are following you, and your genre. You are different from any female musician that I listened to so far, and I met a lot. And you're literally really amazing. So, of course, before talking about your solo career, your last upcoming album, I wanna know more about Charlotte, the girl, Charlotte, the child that became that chose to this path of a singer of a music field. Like how it started was like I don't know the first CD you pick up, the first I don't know the first time you started to sing, or when you realize that hey, I can actually good. This could be something.
Well, I always enjoyed music. Like we played a lot of music at home. My parents had like a good taste in music. Like they have shown me records that I still really enjoy, like a lot of like classic rock and Pink
Yeah,
Floyd and Beatles and Kate Bush and so a lot of really cool stuff. Also was the 90s, so also Enigma and Enya, you know. So
yeah.
and my brother he kind of got me into metal, but it was always like I was always like a kind of a mishmash of influences that I
Yeah.
liked. Like, I really liked Metallica, but it really liked the Spice Girls at the same time,
Oh,
you
but
know? So
thank you. We all that's not a stigma. That's something to be proud of. Spice Girl. Thank you for
yeah.
saying.
So I always like this. I played the clarinet as a child. I still do every now and then. But I was in like an orchestra. I was in like a
Really?
marching band at one point. I was in a big band. So I did all these different things. But at one point, I really loved like the kind of like the late 90s, beginning of the 2000s. Like there were a lot of really cool women in rock that I really
Yeah.
adore. Like, Alanis Morissette, Cranberries,
Yes.
Ace
Yes.
Joy,
Yes.
and I really like to sing their songs. I also loved singing along to like Kate Bush and Joni Mitchell, like the like
Okay.
so at one point I kind of asked like, can I exchange my clarinet lessons for singing lessons? And my parents agreed, and I made the switch. I was still playing clarinet in the big band, but I was kind of like focusing more on singing. Um, I did light music for a while, then my teacher
Okay.
recommended me to do classical music.
Okay.
And this is kind of where my making of music and my liking of metal kind of started to
Right.
blend.
Okay.
Because this was like I was singing classical music, so I was doing like the high arias and stuff, and
Yeah.
this was when in metal,
There was.
um, this Beauty and the Beast thing, with
Yeah.
the really high female vocals and then the low
Exactly.
growls. It was super popular. So I
Yeah.
kind of rolled into my first metal bands like in that way when I was doing
Exactly.
that. And I met Martijn like quite young, like quite fast after that. I think I was like 17 or something. So
You were like like literally a teenager when you basically were
yeah, yeah.
going to the
My
music.
my parents had to sign the first contract with Roadrunner because I wasn't of legal age yet, So yeah.
So you literally spent like when you say you grew up in the music scene, literally you grew up you as a woman, as a young girl, and as a woman now, like in the music scene. It's okay. So you know everything about music scene and business.
No, no, I wouldn't say that because I was also like I was always also something of someone of like multiple interests because I was
Okay.
already in Delane when I was in high
Yeah,
school, but at first I thought, oh, I'll take a little job next to it so I can focus on music but make some money on the side.
that's very good.
But it was very hard to combine. And then I thought, I want something to do which is more inspiring. So I did actually go to university. I studied art history and I studied
Art
gender
history.
studies. And yeah, and I did that while being on tour. So it was
Challenging, isn't it? You have to combine two different kind of side. I mean, two different kind of side of you,
yeah, yeah.
but you did it. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
remarkable. It's not easy, especially touring and then go university and then go, give you your exam, your PhD. It's not easy, but you did.
No, I had really supportive teachers and they told me like if you're not here, if you're on the road, like when you go to university and you have to read certain pieces for a lecture, like no one's going to check if you read it. But they told me like if you're going on tour and you want to follow this course, we want like summaries of every single piece of reading that you have to do, and this is how you can do it. So I had to be like super super active, especially when I was on tour, because I couldn't fake having read anything. I had to actually send like
Yeah.
all my summaries for everything that I had to do. So no.
But that was really challenging. I mean that's I think could be as well inspirational for youngers that are doing. I mean music career. I don't know any type of artsy career, and maybe they want to as well focus on their studying. They can do both because no one said that you can have to do only one. If you
This
want,
is true. This is absolutely true. At
yeah.
the same time, sometimes nowadays I think, why didn't I just study music? Why didn't I just focus on one thing and can become good at one thing? Because it like sometimes I feel like, oh yeah, I did art history and it still gives me so much inspiration, but sometimes I still feel like
Why did I do that?
I could have also just focused on one thing.
But
So
I
it's
think,
always it's a balance.
yeah,
It's
but I think that the outcome, as you can see as well by having a lot of interviews and people reaching out to you, is and I think that as well, like because you mentioned that you studied of course art history because already you have all this kind of, let's say, um how art changed throughout the course of history.
yeah.
Maybe somehow that influence as well like your music and now the outcome of your music is as well like the look of your video clip, for example, because that's a lot of visual there and that's beautiful. They are a pleasure to watch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do take a lot of inspiration from art, from like paintings, from poetry, literature. So definitely, I got a lot of help there. I'm doing a video for the song with Elisa as well, "Ode to the West Wind," and like for this one, we recreated a bunch of very famous paintings,
Really?
um, but we made it like it's very much about like the force of nature and our legacy as humans on nature. So what we did, we have, for example, this big painting of Caspar David Friedrich, where you see like a big landscape, and then there
Okay.
is a man standing on a mountain, and he's
I,
looking towards the landscape. And we recreated this, but instead of on a mountain, we stand on like a pile of trash because that is our
that's
legacy,
yeah,
human.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we will have. That, so
So yeah, I do still get that inspiration from like art.
and it's a powerful message that you're going to send because it's important because as well not showing that only you're interested in art and like spreading art, the culture is always important because the brain needs to be always feed up and we need somehow at least for me I need to learn things and art is one of the most beautiful things we have, but as well nature, which is I think our home where we belong, that the legacy for the people that will be after us is,
Yeah,
like you said, pile of trash. And I
it's concerning. Yeah.
see that every time I go in a fucking woods. And that's really heartbreaking because you see even plastic, bottle of plastic left there in the bed of the river. And like an empty, how in this beach, all the plastic in the sea, especially in Italy, in Sicily. I'm from Sicily, so
Yeah.
there's a lot here, believe me. So that's a powerful message, and I love that you put it together with art, music, and nature. So I might.
I still have to see how it turns out. I'm very curious, but the recording of the shoot was very it was a lot of fun. So I hope that it's going to be a really cool one.
Yeah, man, because of course you choose it because I might assume that as well, nature has an impact in your life and your music as well, because otherwise you wouldn't pick up like a theme so important as nature itself.
Yeah, sometimes I feel very disconnected
Yeah.
to myself, to nature, and it feels like you're kind of going through the motions, you know. But I feel like nature, and especially like the sounds and smells,
Yeah.
uh, they can really kind of bring you back to something that feels,
Real,
yeah,
grounded.
yes, exactly,
Yeah, and I
exactly.
know the feeling.
Yeah.
You're
And
like
so
meditating right now.
yeah, so so yeah, it does play a big role. It doesn't play as big of a
Of
role as
course.
I would like because I'm in the Netherlands and we barely have any nature. And I mean, I like to travel, but also I try to limit like how much I'm flying, for example, because nature. So, and I know that for my work I will have to every now and then. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's not as influential as it could be, but
Okay.
I try to
Just say kind of, let's say
connect
grounded,
as much
connect.
as I can. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say just for your own, as much as you need it. Let's say
Yeah,
as
exactly.
you would like. And of course, like we mentioned already, you didn't start. I mean, because of course your solo career didn't start with Obsession. You already started in 2020. So of course, you just, of course, it's not easy when you just left the band and you already have this question asked thousands of times. So I want to speak more like you. How did you feel the day that you literally released Tale from 6 Feet Under, the first solo album? I mean, it was like kind of maybe this is right, this is wrong, because releasing a first solo album after a big career with another band is not so. It doesn't man. It maybe wasn't easy as you thought, but it turned out to be. But how did you feel at that moment with your eyes of today, of course?
Um, I was slightly terrified, especially because it was such a different album. Like,
Okay.
in a way, it felt for me like I was uh, practicing, but very publicly.
Okay.
Because I didn't intend these songs to be on a record when I started. What kind of happened is I did the Patreon. It was
Okay.
intended as a side project, and anyone who's interested, come
Yeah.
along. But then at one point, when the band split, I thought, okay, so then this is going to be my full-time focus.
Yeah.
But then after a while, I thought, okay, but now this is all that I'm doing. Do I want to be the type of artist that has all of their music behind a paywall? And the answer was no. Like I do want music
That is.
out for people to hear it. Even even if I'm, just getting started again. And so that's kind of where the idea of the Tales from 6 Feet Under record started. And then we thought, okay, we do the vinyl too because it's
Yeah.
nice kind of merch items. But it really start. Oh,
Oh,
it-
no, no, no,
but it really started from that idea and then
no.
kind of went out of hand. I was very nervous when I started, but then some people actually liked it. And I was like,
Some people, more than some people, Charlotte, more than some people.
yeah, but I was because I'm always terrified. So I do feel that I got a little bit of courage from the fact that people seem to enjoy it.
I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
I'm glad.
true. That's true. I've just read everyone like everyone is obsessed by your music. They literally like it. So
Obsessed. Pun intended. Yeah.
I
Uh,
didn't think about it. Came spontaneous. Okay, you see, everything is obsessed by obsessed.
yeah. No, but so yeah, I think looking back, I was nervous, but I was also feeling some sort of release
Yeah.
that people were still interested. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, like because you did 60 down tiles from 60 under, well, it's a one and then two. So now with the obsession, it's like a new chapter.
Yeah.
because it's like this kind of a turning point album of your career. I mean, what's changed? What has changed between the first two, let's say, volume and then the Obsession?
I think that the Tales albums, that they were very much, hey, I'm doing this thing, and here's the thing that I'm doing, and it felt really spontaneous, really adventurous. Like I was
Yeah.
experimenting, I was, exploring all these different kind of genres and sounds, and I was teaching myself production, and
Even
so
production
it felt
yourself, even
on,
production yourself.
yeah, on the Tails records, that was all just like they were made here. I had the mix and the master outsourced, but that was it.
Compliment. I mean, that's not easy as well. I mean, you're a multitasking woman. Okay.
Very multitasking, yeah. But for this record, I think that after a while, I just thought, okay, but now I want to do something focused again. I want to write a more traditional album. I want a more cohesive sound.
Okay.
I want songs that are not just pulled together and put on a record. I want to write the songs to belong together on a record. Like I
Okay.
want to think about that before. Um,
Writing an album, kind of, or putting
yeah,
something out.
yeah, exactly. So I wanted, and I wanted I also wanted not to have everything like digitally programmed,
Yeah.
sampled. Like
I,
I wanted the involvement of other musicians again.
okay.
I wanted every part of the music to have, like, I always, when I'm working on a song, I'm looking at the song as a whole, but I
Okay.
approach it as a singer because I am a singer.
Okay.
And I wanted on this album that every part, like, I want the drums to be obsessed about by a drummer. Like I want the guitars to be obsessed about by a guitarist. I want, so I really wanted to involve the team as
Okay.
well. So one thing that remained the same is, like, I wrote the song here, I put the first version on Patreon, but then after that, we started that process with the band. And
So the
while I'm
creative
talking, I'm kind of forgetting what the question was, but I'm getting
no,
way
but
into
that's
our
like
story.
the turning point, like
Yeah,
of course, and you
yeah,
say perfectly because, like you said as well, like there is more like a creative as well process with the team band itself,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, so it's really a turning point in the fact that this is the first one where I was really thinking, not like I've been doing things and now I put them together, here you are.
Use more
It's
folk, yeah,
I've been really focused on
focus,
making this album and making it as good as it can be, and everything belongs together, and
yeah,
yeah.
and of course that, like I said, that I can't find a specific genre. I don't like labels, but I can find a specific literally genre where to Charlotte Wessels belongs to. So
Mhm.
in your own word, Charlotte, how would you describe like literally your music? Because that's really unique. So you only you can tell me because
I think, how would I describe it nowadays? Um, there's definitely parts there which
okay,
are metal. There's parts there which are a bit symphonic. There's parts there which are a bit progressive. But there's also parts that are more rock than metal. So
okay. Even an adjective like artsy, I don't know, me let's say calming, just in a quote, like how would you like if you want to talk as well, like your
I
obsession.
think that it's
No.
I think that it's like the songs are always dramatic.
Okay.
They're always and there is a certain heaviness. Like I feel that even when I was doing like the pop songs, it's
Okay.
kind of these
Deep,
darkly
the
yeah.
deepness.
So if I would choose like adjectives, then I would definitely put like the dramatic and
Yes.
the dark, the darker things in
Because
there. Yeah.
of course this is kind of the let's say the sound wise aspect of obsession. But about the topic lyric wise, what did you face in as a topic in obsession? The main
Fear,
part.
Yeah, no, I remember very well. It was February of this year. I was in Poland for like a writing. It was uh yeah, I was in Poland and I was working on the songs, and I told myself, now you have to write down for every song in one sentence, what is it about? And because I wanted to find, like,
Me.
is there a red thread? And then kind of found out that each and every song is either about, fear or these intrusive thoughts, or like the very escapes from them. And I didn't intend to write like a
Wow.
concept album per
Yeah.
se, but the theme was very much there. And yeah, so
The main.
that's the main topic, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think it's important because I mean, I don't think there is no one in the entire world that doesn't have a fear or intrusive thoughts or a dysfunctional thoughts. We all live in these in here.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is also like because I tied it to like I'd been diagnosed with OCD, so
And then me
like
too. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club.
so um yeah, no,
Yeah,
but what I wanted to say about that is that like that's where it kind of connected for me, and why it's also called The Obsession. But I don't think that the themes on the record are recognizable or relatable only for people who are in the
no,
club, you know?
no, no. No, but I think no, I think everyone, because everyone in the entire world have even one small fear that could be even just, I don't know, taking the plan, just one of the most common fear, or having intrusive thoughts. I have to do that. Why is happening? What if? What if? Everyone, and you don't have to have OCD or intrusive thought or anxiety, but we live in a world where these things are literally more pushed in our mind that we can allow them to flow outside. And what
Yeah.
beautiful quote that an amazing mindfulness teacher, John Kabat-Zinn, said all the time: "We are not our thoughts." That's something
Mm.
that we should write a tattoo somewhere, but we always forget about it. So I think that
I have some
obsession.
space.
Yeah, you have it. I will find.
Yeah, you'll find it. It's
So
fine.
next time we will have that tattoo. So but that's, yeah, that's, I think that's important as a topic in general, without not also as a fear, and as well how to face it and how to feel it. So it's, I mean, it's a really beautiful, because already the song one that you released, they had such incredible views number. I just looked some minutes before joining, almost 200 and more views in just even a month, so 2 months. So you're doing an amazing job. And so far by now, I mean, my favorite is Chasing Sunset. Sunsets. That's amazing. But I like I mean, what is I don't want to ask you what is like your favorite song, what blah blah blah. But while writing down your music, there has been one song that literally was maybe more challenging to write than others, or maybe the opposite, that was most easier to write because you felt so okay, they feel like so close to me.
I think the Exorcism is one that feels really close to me. It was also written very fast and very
Yeah.
naturally, like
Wow.
uh like it came easy in a way. Uh, mm, Chasing Sunsets was a little bit more, it took more steps, but that one was also one that was one that I was very proud of when I just had, the first page. I'm still also with this version, but I remember even from the first version that I was like already like, yes, a banger. Like I was really happy about that. But The Exorcism is one of those where still, if I have to sing it now, I will still feel exactly the way I felt when, I first,
Come sing it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. And of course, I mean, like you said, we will see some, there will be another single release before the album drops out. So, and then the album is gonna be released. So in the meantime, it's gonna be some two. Okay, so people will already have two singles out. Just they will have a lot of Charlotte Wessel this year.
I don't know honestly, like why did I this was coming out around the release, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or
You
okay,
can
yeah.
say
So
anything,
I don't know why I thought of doing like five.
but that's amazing. 5 videos, I mean, that's amazing. You're giving us, you're feeding us, you're feeding
Yes,
your
yes,
fans
I am
because you
feeding you.
like it, because
Yeah.
you're an artist, because you studied art and you can recognize by yourself. And of course, but I want to say about the video clip because they are beautiful and super well directed. So who's behind the team? And as well, like, how do you feel to be like the main character in that video clip? Because that's amazing.
It feels different for every video because I feel
Okay.
like every video is different. Um, Also, there some feel really performative, some feel really natural. Like it all kind of depends what the situation is. I have different teams that I work with for different types of videos. Like the first two videos were made by a wonderful combination. I had worked with them separately before, but not together. So the Chasing Sunsets and The Exorcism were made by Claire Stewart from Blonde and Blauw Films, who's worked with me for video for Victor, for example, Venus Rising, like multiple videos on the Tails Records, and Tim Tronku, the photographer, and they worked together on the video. So he was also directing, and then the video for Dopamine, for example, but also the one that's in the works for Ode to the West Wind. These ones were both made by Video Inc.,
Okay.
which is a UK-based company. And usually I kind of go by, like, I think of what because all creatives have their own style and the things that they, like to do the most. So usually I first sit down alone and then I think of, okay, what do I envision with this song? And often, this is already in my mind when I write this song because I'm very visual. Like I make mood boards while I'm working on the songs. So often I will have like an idea and then I will think, oh, this is a project for this person. Oh, this is a project for this person. And then there was also one, for example, that is more like a lyric video. So then it's
Okay.
a whole different approach
Yeah,
altogether.
of course.
But
Yeah.
that was 12-inch media, by the way. Let's name them as well. Credit where
Let's give them a
credit.
shout out. Yeah, of course.
Yes, exactly. I also worked with them many times before. So, but it's yeah, I'm always nervous about the videos because I really like the visual part of it. I like to make, I like to think of the concepts and put the ideas together and to work very closely with whoever is responsible for the actual video. Like I really, really love it, but I'm also so invested in it and I want to make it right. So I'm always kind of nervous for it. And this is why at the same time, like, it could feel glamorous, I guess, being put in the makeup and the dresses and the things,
Yeah.
but I'm always there like I'm always a nervous wreck. So yeah.
But I mean, you mastered, I mean, you could be, like I said, you could have a lot of challenging things for yourself, having some moments of being anxious, nervous, whatsoever. But you, by yourself, since we start to talk, you literally did all by yourself, of course, with the help of amazing people, but even just looking for the right people, surrounding yourself with the right team, starting to master in the beginning your own music. You did such, you create Charlotte Wessels that just you create something amazing by yourself. So that's,
Oh,
I mean,
I mean, I really appreciate it. At the same time, I always feel like it's hard to take credit because I'm so indebted to, my support system, the people around me. Like my husband has a second job from what I'm doing right now. Like he helps
that's
so much. Like he supports the passion so much, and like, you
really
know,
wrong.
it's and but also like. the Patreon has made a lot possible, you know, of what I'm doing. And then, you know, with this project, like you rightfully mentioned, like the entire team, like the difference between the songs, the way they were on the Patreon and how they are now on the Obsession is through the involvement of this amazing team and what
Yeah.
everyone does. So I'm very happy. I'm
Yeah.
very happy sharing the
Yeah, of course, because like I said, you surround yourself with, let's say, with the right people, because I think you have as well a good eye to find out that what you want, at least knowing what you want and the people to put close to you. And of course, like you were saying, the Patreon, because it's always important to say that a lot of people help through that. And sometimes people forget to say, or thanks to them. But it's because you have an amazing fan base. Like I said, they love you. I mean, you know, I don't have, I'm not here to tell you, they literally love you. So
and even now, you know, because when I started, like also for the Tails records, I only had like a back then I only had like a production and distribution deal with Napalm Records, and now I've got like a full deal again, and they're like amazing too. Like I've got a great team. They're so
amazing.
supportive. You've been talking to them, so
Yeah, I love them. So we can give a shout out to all Napalm. We love them. I love them. They have the best musician. I mean, don't want to say yeah, but they really have amazing musician. That's the Rooster is amazing, and how they connect, they treat with the press, the treat with it's amazing how they
so
work.
it's amazing to kind of have that connection again. But even now, like the Patreon still funds so much of what
Yeah,
I'm doing financially, and then also, you know, just emotionally,
yeah,
it's
that's
a
good.
very
And
nice support system
but
and community.
yeah, there's gonna be some chance to see you. I mean, of course, we have to see the release first, but for what you can say, some maybe lives going out, some I don't know, 2025, 2024. For what you can say, even in general, there will be the chance to see you perform live.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely. We just did our first
okay,
show no, not last weekend, but the weekend before that.
okay,
Which was a festival, Dutch festival. We have one more festival in 2, 3 weeks,
okay,
and then we have a show with. Oh no, then we have our release show on October 4th
okay. October
in
4th.
Utrecht here in the Netherlands. Then we have on October 11th we have a show with Camelot,
Oh,
also in the Netherlands, and then we're going on tour. We're doing like a full month of touring all through Europe.
okay.
Yeah, with Vola, we're joining Vola on their Friend of a Phantom European tour, which I'm very excited about because I'm a big fan of Vola. So,
That's gonna
uh,
be amazing.
yeah, so and we're working on next year also already. So there's going to be plenty of opportunity to see us live.
Okay, so anyone, even me, can just join and see you, and I can we just have our after party in our class.
Yes, yes.
This is
I
gonna
think
be
we're
amazing.
going to
So
Italy.
of
Wait,
course, hmm? What? Sorry.
I was like, I think we're going to Italy. Yeah, we're going to be in Milan on 17th of November.
The 18th is my birthday. You,
Oh my gosh, come have pre-birthday drinks.
yeah, of course. I'm gonna write it down. Here's
Yes,
done. We seal a deal.
yes. There
And
we
of course,
go.
just to say, of course, because it's important to say, the pre-order are open for the album. Of course, everyone can order through Napalm, or there's a Bandcamp. There's something on your Patreon where they can find them
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
everywhere. We
Yeah.
have physical copies.
Yes.
It's gonna be out in CD, vinyls.
There is CD, there is vinyl.
Okay.
Napalm has like a cool vinyl
Okay.
exclusive. Or wait, is it sold out? Yes, it's sold out. So I'm sorry, I haven't said anything. I've got a patron exclusive
Okay.
uh, vinyl, but it's also almost sold out. So it's going very fast. So people should jump on it.
Yeah.
And yep.
That's gonna be in vinyl, so the CDs, and of course streaming platform. So anyone can just join and support and help together and see you live, and then have another album and another album and a long career. But I'm really happy to get the chance to talk to you and interview you and know you. It was really a pleasure, Charlotte. You are such an humble and amazing artist and woman. Really, let me say, just really humble, and don't stop loving art history, because I think they really helped you. And
Okay, well, thank
looking
you so
forward
much.
to see you in Milan then. literally.
See you in Milan. Yeah, I look
Yeah,
forward to it. Thanks so much for the interview. It was a
thank you.
pleasure talking to you.
So
And
me
yeah, I think
too.
I got everything you needed.
Yeah, you're amazing, an amazing host, whatever interview. I don't know, whatever. You're an amazing guest. I would love to have more interview with you in the future, maybe even live. So see
Well,
you.
until next time then.
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna bring something from Sicily. I don't know what, some cannoli or some dessert. So, kisses for the puppies. Bye.
Thank you so much. Have
Thank
a
you
good
so
evening.
much to you. Have a good evening.